Bueno, aquí en el Foro Económico Mundial estamos con Randall Sthephenson, él es el presidente y CEO de AT&T. Queremos agradecerle mucho que tome esta entrevista. Randall, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Of course.
So if you could describe for us the business plan that you envisioned a few years ago for the Mexican market, and how has that performed over the last year and a half?
Our belief is that what we have seen happen in the United States could be replicated in other markets around the world, and that is we invested very aggressively for 8 years in delivering mobile broadband, the mobile internet, to our customers, and we've grown an incredible customer base, and it's become a very nice business, and it's brought the mobile world, our mobile customers, a capability they've never had before, to access video, to stream the internet on their mobile device anywhere they are, wherever they are. We really believe that if you wanted to invest in other markets, that same result would occur. And Mexico was a perfect opportunity for us. The president worked aggressively to get some amendments, changes put into the Constitution of Mexico that changed the rules, made it very clear that if you invested in Mexico, what the rules would be in the long term. And with that change, we decided it was a great place for us to go and demonstrate that we were right about this. And so what our plan is to take our U.S. fourth generation mobile network and expand it down into Mexico. And we believe that we can cover 100 million people in Mexico with this next generation network within 3 years. By the end of 2015, and keep in mind we were only 6 months into it, we had covered 40 million people with this technology. So we're convinced we can cover 100 million people, expand the U.S. network, and then what we would have is a network covering 400 million people and businesses in North America between the United States and Mexico, and bring the capabilities such that Mexican customers would have the same experience as U.S. customers. We want ultimately for our Mexican customers, when they call the United States, it's just like they're calling somebody in Mexico. If they travel to the United States, it's just like they're traveling somewhere in Mexico. Their billing incorporates all of this. And we are convinced if we get the right network experience, high quality, high bandwidth experience, get the integration with our U.S. market done right, this is going to be an exciting opportunity for AT&T and for the customers in Mexico.
Isn't it your customer base still very low, small at this time in Mexico?
Yeah, in Mexico, I believe we're about 8 million customers. Our expectation is that's going to grow rapidly. We're providing a true competitive alternative to the Mexican marketplace. And we believe that if we bring high quality networks and aggressive pricing to the Mexican market, that we're going to win a lot of customers in Mexico. We're convinced we will.
How fast do you think you can deploy this strategy?
The key criterion first is to build the network. And so by end of 2015, we had deployed, as I mentioned, the LTE network to 40 million people. Within 3 years to be to 100 million people. As we do that, we'll be pursuing these markets where we roll the network out very, very aggressively. And so our expectation is we'll get to a very fast growth rate in short order. In fact, I believe people will be surprised when they see our fourth quarter 2015 results to see how fast we are growing.
When you see Mexico and everything that you have described, what are the biggest challenges there? You've talked about these new rules for your industry. Are they actually clearly and transparently applied into this new market for you? How do you see things and challenges in there?
Yeah, what the administration has accomplished in Mexico is given real clarity to the regulatory environment. And in our industry and industries like ours, which are heavily capital intensive, the greatest thing a government can do to attract investment is give clarity. Clarity in terms of what the rules are. And if you invest capital today, and keep in mind when we invest capital in this business, we're investing for 10-year time horizons. So we need some level of confidence that the dollars we invest today, we know how those dollars will be regulated 5, 6, 7 years from now. By virtue of putting these rules in place through a change in the Constitution, the governing Constitution of the nation, by doing it in that way gives you great confidence that if a new administration comes or new regulators come, that the rules are not going to change at a whim, that there's some stability in the rulemaking. So the rules are the least of our concerns right now. We're all about building great networks, building a great customer experience, building new billing systems, new customer interaction systems, increasing our stores and our distribution throughout the country to make it easy for customers to buy from us. That's all we're about right now, is building out this capability.
What about the competition? We have Telcel, America Mobile in Mexico, which is very strong, very strong company.
Very good competitor.
Very big. How do you plan to, to eat bits of their market? I mean, what specific strategy do you have for that?
Our objective is to create a better customer value than our competition. That is our objective in the United States, a better network experience and a better pricing value than the competitors. And so what we're doing in Mexico is exactly that. Our objective is to create a superior network experience. It always starts with that. So we want to have a better network experience than any of the competitors in Mexico. And then have a better value in terms of pricing, packaging, bundling with the United States presence. So the idea that our Mexican customers, if they're an AT&T customer, can call the United States or go to the United States and use their data plan uniquely, like nobody else can offer, we think is a huge advantage. By that same token, our U.S. customers who have relatives and have relationships with people in Mexico, their ability to travel and to combine plans and create unique value propositions with their counterparts in Mexico, we think is going to be a huge differentiator for us in the marketplace. So doing things uniquely with pricing, doing things uniquely in terms of bundling and combining with other capabilities like roaming and so forth, we think are going to be big competitive advantages.
Isn't it very different, the typical Mexican customer than the American customer in terms of the size of their pocket money that they have to spend in this?
Yeah, the Mexican market's very different, and the average revenue per month, as the way we measure it in the industry, is considerably lower than it is in the United States. But we think we can create a cost structure that will allow us to be very competitive on price in Mexico. So, we've been partners in Mexico with America Mobile for many years. We know the Mexican market, we think, quite well, and so we think we know how to enter the market in a way where we can be competitive, not only on quality, but on price.
What about the team that you built in Mexico? You have Thaddeus Arroyo, which is he's very eager to go through this plan, but for this strategy, you will need like a very strong team in there.
I would tell you, Thaddeus has built a world-class team for our Mexican operations. Thaddeus himself is proving to be a world-class CEO. And if you think about what Thaddeus's primary objectives are for the next couple of years, to build a world-class network and literally change out all of our systems, our IT infrastructure. Thaddeus has proven to be one of the best chief information officers in the world. He knows IT, he knows systems, and he knows networks. He is like perfectly suited for this. What Thaddeus has proven is he also has a genius marketing mind. He is a very good marketeer, and he's doing a great job of positioning the AT&T brand in Mexico, thinking creatively about different pricing and value propositions for the customers in Mexico. So Thaddeus is I think, demonstrating why we put him there, that he's a very gifted executive. He has built around him a world-class team. We have an individual who is running the network operation who is as good as it gets on building wireless networks, and he's doing a terrific job. The individual we have doing marketing is a great marketeer. He actually is a Mexican, and so he knows the market well, and he's doing a terrific job. We have world-class IT people working for Thaddeus. I can go down the line, but he has built a really terrific team who's executing very well.
So you won't need to get down there to see how things go. You're trusting all these people.
Oh no, I still come down. First of all, I love Mexico. I lived in Mexico for almost 4 years, and we still have some good friends in Mexico. But I love the market. I love being there. I love the culture. So I find excuses to get to Mexico on a regular basis.
When we see what's going on in technology world, for example, I've been to the CES a few days ago. This Internet of Things is an explosion for the whole world. How do you envision the deployment of these technologies with your networks in this larger market?
You know, Carlos, we're we are experiencing and witnessing something that is, I think, historic in nature in the world of technology. And that is, we have talked for the last 6, 7 years about a number of areas that are coming, and when they come, they will change the world, right? And one of them was ubiquitous mobile broadband. I mean, high-speed mobile access. And when that became ubiquitous and available to the masses, that it would be a very powerful thing. And in the United States, we are there. Mexico, we're going to be there very soon. I mean, a full ubiquitous coverage of mobile internet. Second, we've talked about the cloud for a long time. The cloud is now here, and the cloud is here at scale. And the ability to analyze data, to compute massive amounts of data, to store massive amounts of data, the cost for doing that in the world of the cloud has just plummeted. It has become a very cost-efficient tool in the world of technology. Now, combined with that, big data. How long have we talked about big data? The world of big data analytics is here, and the tools are in place so that the companies, from the biggest companies in the world to the smallest, now have tools available that with this cloud technology and accumulation of massive amounts of data, they can do data analytics at a level that nobody could have conceived of just 5 years ago. And then the last piece, and you referenced it, is this world of really inexpensive sensors that are deployed ubiquitously, broadly. Internet of Things is how we have coined this term. But you can deploy a sensor for virtually no cost now to do everything from tell you when there is water in the basement of your house to sensors on an automobile that can be deployed for autonomous cars and driverless cars. These sensors are being deployed at a dramatic pace. AT&T alone, we have 25 million devices connected to our network. And because of the confluence, or all of these coming to maturity at the same time, we're starting to see things we never could have thought of 5 years ago. For example, Maersk, the shipping company, is one of our largest customers. We have 300,000 of their containers on ships around the globe in the middle of the ocean that are connected. They are connected to our network. We know at any moment in time, Maersk knows at any moment in time, where those containers are, what the temperature within those containers are. And based on all of this data and this information, Maersk is now starting to use this information to reroute their shipping routes and so forth. As a result of this, the connected car has become a reality. And of the 12 major car manufacturers in the U.S., 9 are connecting their automobiles to the AT&T network. And the connected car will ultimately lead to the autonomous car. Combine that with the connected city. We just announced an initiative to begin connecting cities with these same 4 technologies and partnering with companies to do this. The connected city combined with a connected car, think about what that allows us to do. Now, how that will allow cities to begin to change traffic patterns and manage traffic patterns and drop commute times and drop carbon emissions and so forth. So this is a very, very exciting time where all of these technologies are coming together, and all of these sensors are feeding data into the cloud that's being analyzed and used to improve businesses and improve people's lives. It's really an exciting time.
You look very enthusiastic, and which is actually for a reason. Finally, Randall, I would like to ask you, how, if you have a Telcel customer in front of you, how would you sell your services in Mexico? By the way, I'm not, so I'm your customer from so many years prior with Usacell and now AT&T, but how would you sell your services in Mexico? How do you tell them?
If you are interested in a service where your calls are very, very reliable and your calls will not be dropped, where your data speeds are really high speed, best in class, some of the best in the world in terms of accessing the internet, streaming video. If you want to stream video, our network is the best network for doing that. And we can provide you a price plan that is good for you, it's best for your family, and if you have relatives or you have interest in traveling to the United States, it is a plan that will be the most competitive plan for going cross-border into the United States. Or if you're a small business or a large business, we can bring to you capabilities that others cannot. We can bring to you connected devices, Internet of Things capabilities, cloud capabilities. We can actually, if you're a business, connect you from your handset through a virtual private network into the cloud provider of your choice in a very, very secure basis with our net bond service. It's something nobody else can do right now. So whether you're a customer, a customer who is very price sensitive, or if you're a customer who has high expectations of network quality, business small, business large, we can meet whatever your needs are.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
Randall.
Carlos.
Good luck here in Davos.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.